I, Abdulkhair Ali Muhammad, swear by the Almighty God that the information I shall give before this committee of the County Assembly shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth. So help me God, Abdulkhair Ali Muhammad.
Mr. Abdulghair, I wish to welcome and thank you for honoring our notification to appear before the committee today, 14th November 2022. Before I officially raise the curtain for this interview session, I would like to open the meeting with a word of prayer. Honorable Salat.
بسم الله اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحسن إذا شئت سهلا أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك أستغفرك وأتوب إليك صلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد.
Thank you, Honorable Salat. To start with introduction, I'm Honorable Abdirashid Mumin, the chairperson of the Committee of Education. Allow me, my members also to introduce themselves.
Welcome, Mr. Ali Abdulkhair. My name is Rashid Bilo Adan, Vice Chair of the Committee of Education. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
With you for 30 minutes, within which we will ask you questions and answer appropriately. Kindly don't engage the members directly and answer the question through the chair. Mr. Abdulkhair Ali, you have been cognizant of the fact that you are under obligation to provide the committee truthful and verifiable information like academic and work experience, and anything to the contrary will lead to no further consideration. Mr. Abdulkhair, the committee will be fair, transparent throughout this process. Furthermore, the committee, after the interview process, will submit its report to the County Assembly. for adoption or otherwise of the report. Now, the committee clerk will confirm your original document against your copies you have submitted previously. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have too many. We have too many. Kwanza hii masala hii kubwa sana. That is the first degree. I don't know. There are so many documents that I don't know. Maybe some have not been submitted there. This one has not been submitted. Those are the commission documents, commission for university. These are deployment and appointment. Academic. You need only the academic now. Okay. It's also academic. These are ours. The one I gave you. This is the certificate. This is the master's and the transcripts for Punjab. This is the transcript for this one. This is transcript for Kenyatta University. You don't know, this one is also there. I've done twice A level. This transcript for Khartoum, certificate for Khartoum. What is remaining now will be KIE. Check. Certify give you KIE. And then also Kenyatta. That's the one. I think, do you need the one for KIA, Kenya Institute, Kenya School of Government? Is there, this one. That is the transcript. Let me give you the certificate also. I will bring it, I see it. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Abdikhair Ali. As the members peruse your original document against the copies you have submitted previously, because of the time factor, we will directly go to the questions. And my first question is, kindly tell us who is Abdikhair Ali, your personal background, your academic, professional, and as well as your work experience. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Abdikhair Ali Muhammad. I was born in 1961 in Wajir County, or now that was Wajir District in Butte. I started my early schooling at Ajawa Primary School up to class 5, then transferred to Buna, PPE at Buna Primary School. Then I joined Wajir High School in 1981, completed 1984. Then after the result, I joined and trained teaching. Then while doing the untrained teaching, I did A level twice. And finally, I managed to qualify for university. I got Nairobi University, but did not went. I got a scholarship in Pakistan. Then I studied in Punjab, both in Punjab and the International Islamic University. I got diploma in Islamic Studies in International Islamic University, although I have not submitted those certificates. And then I did BA in Punjab University, completed 1991, then continued with my education in Pakistan, and then completed Masters of Arts in Islamic Studies in Punjab University in 1994. I came back to the country, then posted to Wajir High School as an trained teacher, a graduate or postgraduate and trained teacher. Then from there, I joined Kenyatta University. 1997, I did postgraduate diploma in education until 2008. I was teaching Wajir High School. From 2008, that is late 2009, late 2007, I applied to public service. I got public service job, and then I was posted to Mandera as quality assurance officer. I worked around 4 years there, 4 months there. In the same year, I was posted to headquarters to be in charge of the curriculum for IRE and Arabic. Until 2015, I was at Jogo House, being panel member for NEC, that is Kenya National Examination Council, and KICD. That time it was called KIE, Kenya Institute of Education. And then 2015, I was made in charge of Wajir County, at the Wajir County Quality Assurance and Standard Officer. Up to 2017, I was there. And then late 2017, I got a scholarship from the Arab League and partially Kenya, sponsored by Kenya government. Then I did my master's again, another master in education from Khartoum University until 2021. That is last year. I was in the ministry. And then I retired 2021. That is my work and educational background. To add, maybe to be more clear, I was chairing panels at KICD currently, called KICD, Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, for development of the Arabic and IRE curriculum for all the levels, from ECD to diploma college. I was also in charge of the assessment of those subjects at the college. And also at the evaluation level, that is NEC, Kenya National Examination Council, I was evaluator. I was in charge of those subjects, being a moderator, item setter, all of them. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Abdikhair, for your well-articulated, informative presentation. Welcome again, and feel free at all times. Honorable Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Abdikhair, as an accounting officer in your department, what role and duties do you expect to perform while serving as a county chief officer, as per section 149 2 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012.
In terms of financial management, there are regulations and rules laid by the government that I have to follow. I have to be transparent in my dealing. I have to be honest. I have to be trustworthy. I have to deal in executing my duties honestly, diligently, and accurately. For example, there are sometimes in government offices, people award maybe supplies or contracts, whatever, or in government regulations, procurement regulations, you are not supposed to commit unless there is fund for that. So that is all about maybe dealings, financial dealings. That is honestly and transparent and trustworthiness and accurately. Yeah, if there is work to be done, that work to have a budget, and the people, and I have supposed to act according to the budget.
Thank you, Mr. Abdikhair. Honorable Majority Leader.
Wa alaikum salam.
Vision 2030 aims at integrating ECD into the basic education as a way of improving quality of ECD in all public schools in Kenya. What is your general understanding on Vision 2030 in relation to ECD and vocational training?
I may take the questionnaire back to the milestones in education. In 1948, there was a Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was held in France, which made education a basic right for all. That is now the milestone where now improvement and inclusion in education is started from, education as a right. The second most important conference, where now Kenya has taken the direction from, is Jom 10 Declaration in 1990, which was held in Jom 10 in Thailand. That one is called EFA, Education for All. It has provided that education must be available to all children, and mostly to early child education. In ECD, that time I think ECD was in primary. They said in primary education or early child education. They said early childhood development, care, and education must be available to every child in the world. And the governments have been, those governments which have ratified, which have signed that convention, were committed to act and provide. Then from there, in 2000, there was the UN convention or conference, which set the Millennium Goals. And one of the, I think it is the second goal, is that also the same as the EFA goals. Education must be made available to all children. That is the Millennium Goals, number 2. And from there, we had the Vision 2030, which also get the track and the direction from the Millennium Development Goals, which now also repeated the same. From there, the Sustainable Development Goals, get its direction from the Millennium Development Goal. In the Sustainable Development Goals, government were committed. And Kenya has signed and has acted in a way that even communities are involved. There was a mobilization and advocacy for early childhood development and education, that is early childhood learning. And there was also, UNICEF was also committed to monitor governments, whether they have acted or reached the goal. And the goal was by 2030, every child must have access to quality childhood care, development, and the learning, whereby children are supposed to achieve skills. And through this, a tool was developed, whereby UNICEF was supposed to monitor what the governments were doing in every country that has signed. It's called ECDI 2030. And this tool is called monitoring tool. There are many monitoring tools, but that is the most important. It is the most active. And as a ministry, we were using also with the collaboration with UNICEF. This tool, it has 20 questionnaires checking the child, whether this child has achieved certain knowledge, skills, values, and morals. It was given, this tool was to be taken to the child cares, that is ECD, teachers or child cares, or even mothers and parents, other parents. It is asking, can this child walk? Can he play? Can he jump? Can he recognize letters? Can he recognize the numbers? Can he say some words? Because children have different levels of learning, the different timetables of learning. That was the most important. That is so far maybe what I can remember. Maybe there are many things which I cannot remember.
In Wajir or in northern Kenya, our students usually, when they finish Form 4, each and every one of them like to go in urban areas, like the Strathmore University, the Mangus, and many other schools. They feel this is important for them. So those boys or girls who are academically okay, usually they leave this county and go urban counties. How can we reduce this and have other Mangus and Strathmore in Wajir County to reduce this issue?
That's a challenging question. It has a challenge, not only to us, but also it's a national challenge. It is called brain drain. Even the best performers from the national schools, after completing national schools, they are not. They don't stay in these countries. Maybe the best O-level students or KCSE students, they are taken by other countries. Some are in America, some are in Australia. That is also brain drain. That is affecting our country. And also, it is also the same trend. Our people feel, or our young people feel, that the other parts of Kenya is better than us. Maybe they have also, they get this picture from our performance at the local. Maybe our schools are not performing. Our people have do not have right work attitude, and they feel that we are somehow inferior. That is also a kind of brain drain. The best thing we can do is, first of all, we have to mobilize, we have to sensitize that the other people are not better than us. They are not clever than us. Our people can perform better than others. And we build their morale, and we tell them West best. West is home the best. This is our land. This is our institutions. Let us improve ourselves.
Thank you, Mr. Nominee. Honorable Umar.
Thank you, Chair. Karibu Mwalimu Abdulkadir. My question is, what relates to the portfolio you are being vetted for that you think makes you suitable for this particular job you are being nominated for, and highlight some of the key achievements you have attained before?
I feel I'm very suited to this position because I'm qualified and I worked in this field for more than 30 years. That is I have the experience. Secondly, in my teaching years, I was a performer. When I was doing the interview for the public service, I was asked to bring my performance. And then I brought analysis of my two subjects. It was, they were Arabic and IRE. And all of them were showing A-. Arabic was a group, but IRE was the whole school, 156. And then they told me this is not true. I told them, ask the principal. And then they told me, if this is true, you don't need to be asking any question. And then I was asked only 3 questions, then I left. That's the way I was taken to public service. Still, I have that capacity. Still, I have that talent, those skills. And I think given the chance, I will make an improvement in the area, in the department.
Mr. Khay, I welcome you once again to this committee as a member. And my question is that there is no county education policy framework to govern ECD teachers in terms of their scheme of work, recruitment, Duxi and Madrasa teachers in place. How do you intend to address these issues?
It's not clear to me.
No county education policy framework to govern ECD teachers in terms of their scheme of work.
Okay, taking the charge, I will create a work plan whereby we have to induct the teachers, we have to train teachers on how to plan lessons, how to plan the terms work, and how to do their activities in the right manner, the way it is required. My work mainly was quality assurance. And in quality, we need a quality work. We feel that, I feel that once given, I have to make a quality work. I have to make the ECD department a department that has quality teachers, quality programs, and quality activities. We are supposed to monitor what teachers are doing, what is going on, how children are learning, the facilities which are there, and the conditions of the facilities, the conditions of the learning environment. And by consulting others, I feel we come out with a comprehensive environment, comprehensive programs of dealing with those issues.
Still, the question is about, what about also the recruitment of Duksis and Madrasa teachers in place? How do you intend the recruitment?
Madrasa teachers also need to be trained because many of them, they don't have educational program. And a teacher must be trained according to educational ways. They have to be taught early childhood development, components of early childhood development, how to relate with children, how to relate with the environment, how to relate with the parents, how to relate with the public, how to deliver their teaching, if they are the madrasa teachers. Because the tools for education, the tools for learning are not in Arabic, most of them, what we use in Kenya. So I feel they need also training. If we get the resources, they will be trained and they will be taught properly.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Nominee. And from your curriculum vitae, the CV, I can see you are an educationist. You have written in the career summary that you are an educationist who loves education activities. And you have translated Kenya early childhood education syllabus into Somali language. And there is this issue of CBC, where even the president has formed a task force to go around the countrywide to collect views of the parents and also all the stakeholders regarding the CBC. As an educationist, what is your take on CBC?
CPC itself is good curriculum, but for Kenya, it is a burden. It is very expensive for poor people, and that is what is now causing the noise. And our region, we are the poorest in this country. So the only problem it has is expensive, and also it has a wide load. I think CPC will have been the best from class 7 onwards, because CPC is a skilled person. I was a trainer for CPC. I was also evaluator of the books for CPC in 2017. I was there in Mombasa. So I know the components. But in terms of skills and talent development, in terms of moral and social development, CPC is good. But now the question is, are we able? Are we comfortable with it? That is the challenge. The other thing about you have talked about is about the translation or the development of ECD curriculum into Kiswahili. Yes, it's there. I have it. And I have not developed for government. I developed for an organization working in Somalia as a consultant.
Okay.
Yes, it is there.
Thank you. And I think you have mentioned that CBC is a challenge in our county. And if you are given this opportunity to serve as the chief officer, how are you going to address these challenges that you have mentioned about the CBC in our county?
I will have addressed in this way, because we are part of this country, and we cannot decide ourselves alone. What I will have said is, let's look for more resources. resource from the national government, from organizations, from UN bodies, or any well-wishers or donor agencies, in order to lessen the burden on parents.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member Yusuf.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mwalimu, my question will be based on our powers as Mr. Chair. My question will be based on our powers as Education Committee and the County Assembly. My question is, a County Assembly and its committees have powers as that of the High Court to summon any person to appear before it for the purpose of giving evidence or compel the production of documents. If approved, you may be invited to appear before the committee to shed light on operational and financial management in your department. What will be your relationship with the committee and the assembly in general?
The assembly in general and the committee, my relation is work relation. We are brought here by work, and our relation will be the best way we can work together. And in order to produce results. And our relation will be based on honesty, transparency, trustworthiness. I don't know if I have understood in a different angle. If you may repeat to make it more clear.
Thank you, Mr. Abdikhair. Actually, the answer is expected from the question is the way you answer it. And that's enough, I think. Thank you. Honorable Salat.
Mr. Nominee Mwalimu, upon your approval by the committee before you, how will you cope with the pressure related to the job, friends, relatives, and family members seeking favors once approved?
Once I'm approved, my job will be my job, and it will be a CCO. Whether my son, my wife, my daughter, my brother will be in the office as anybody else. Yes, there will be no favorism. There will be no discrimination. And I may give you, I ask a permission to give an incident when I was in Jogo. There was somebody was looking for a quality assurance job. He applied. He came to me. He told me, support me in this. Because you are the only Somali today in this department. And then I told him, yes, I will do it. Then a relative, a close relative, a cousin of mine later on came. He applied. He told me, support me. I said, no way. Somebody else, another person, another Muslim came before you. It became a family issue. I was taken to family court when I gave to the other person who preceded. So yeah, that is my stand always.
Thank you, Mwalimu, and I'm contented. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nominee. A question to you. Kindly explain to the committee what is your net worth in a breakdown manner. Thank you.
My net worth, maybe in terms of maybe capital, I may not have cash. It's 15M. I have a vehicle, a house, maybe a shamba. Then if we add together, if I add together, I can say this is the value of those things. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Nominee. Is there any member who have a question? Thank you. Mr. Abdgher,
Yes, sir.
what is your comment in 2 minute times, please? What is your comment? We are about to close the session. What is your comment about in 2 minute time?
In
2 minute time.
comments about, first of all, I thank you. I thank all the members, yeah. Again, I thank the way you have accommodated me, the friendly faces you have shown me, and the professional questions you have asked me. I was not expecting this. Maybe I was expecting harsher questions or harsher faces. I say thank you very much. I don't have much other comments. And I promise the committee that given the chance, if you approve, you will see the product. Inshallah, you will see a good product. Inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Abdgher. I wish you good luck and you can leave at your own pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I thank all, and my prayers are with you. boorsada la iskiga dhexdaadina waa lagu daha haddii baqshadaha la gelina la yidhaah boorsadaa sideedii loogu dhexdaadinayo. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you all.
And good morning, and County Chief Officer Nominee Bishara Qasim Amin. And before we start anything, we'll start with the oath of, we'll take the oath, we'll be subjected to the oath so that anything you say before this committee is the truth. Thank you.
I, Bishara Kasim Amim, swear by the Almighty God that the information I shall give before this committee of the County Assembly, nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Thank you, and we will request our able honorable clerk to lead us in prayers.
Almighty God, whom in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important tasks in this republic. Let your blessing descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest you have committed to our church. Amen.
Yeah, our Honorable County Chief Officer and Honorable Bishara Qasim Amin, we will start with the introduction. And I am Amina Ibrahim Mohammed. I'm the chair of this committee. I will give time to my members to introduce themselves. We'll start with, and from the left end.
My names are Juan Ferdous Abdullahi Muhammad, a member to this committee.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mariam Abdi Mahamoud, the vice chair of this committee.
Assalamu alaikum. My name's Dahaba Yusuf Farah. My name's Dahaba Yusuf Farah, a member of this committee.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Rashid, member to this committee.
I'm Ismail, the clerk to the committee.
And this is a committee of the County Assembly constitutionally vested with authority to conduct confirmation hearings to establish the suitability of the nomination by His Excellency the Governor of Wajir as the Chief Officer for Gender and Women Empowerment. We will conduct an engagement with you for 30 minutes, within which we will ask you questions and you answer appropriately. Kindly don't engage the members directly and answer the questions through the chair. The committee clerk will confirm the original documents against the copies you have submitted previously. Welcome again and feel protected at all times.
Thank you.
As the chair of the committee, I would like to start with questioning you some of the questions. And kindly, I would like you to introduce yourself to the committee and tell us more about your personal background, academic qualifications, and work experience,
And what motivated you to apply for this position?
Bismillah. I'm Bishara Kasim Amin, a mother and a wife. Okay, I was born and brought up in Wajir County. I studied in Kutula Primary School from class 1 to class 8. I then proceeded to Wajir Girls Secondary School, whereby I finished my high school. Then I proceeded to Garissa Medical Training College for my certificate, nursing. Garissa Medical Training College. After that, I came back to Wajir District Hospital, worked for like four years, then proceeded for my in-service, that is the diploma course, to Homa Bay Medical Training College, whereby I worked in Wajir District Hospital as a maternity in charge for about 6 years. I worked in the County District Hospital for 10 years, then proceeded to the National Hospital Insurance Fund. I joined it as a quality assurance officer and worked for 6 years, whereby I was assessing and accrediting hospitals all over Kenya and paying claims and controlling fraud for the National Hospital Insurance Fund. Currently, for the last 4 years, I am a case manager. We are a team of 14. I am among the case managers who approve all the admissions, the surgical cases, the inpatient and the outpatient for the National Hospital Insurance Fund in the entire country. Yes, that is Bishara. I have a work experience of 22 years, 10 years for the Ministry of Health as a nurse in Wajir District Hospital, and 12 years as a quality assurance officer and a case manager in the National Hospital Insurance Fund.
Thank you, Madam Bishara. And what motivated you to apply for this position?
Sorry, I forgot about my qualifications. I also did a degree in Moi University, a Bachelor of Arts in Sociology. And I'm currently pursuing master's degree, which is, I've started the admission. Yes. What motivated me is I was born and brought up in Wajir. I have the know-how. I have worked for the public service for 22 years, and I felt I served other counties. I felt I can serve my home county, Wajir, more so the women and the vulnerable. And I'm also capable of the post. And also it will be a career development for me. Yes.
Thank you. And my next question is, can you kindly explain to your committee your credentials, but you have already explained, and
Yes.
what do you think makes you stand out among the many candidates being interviewed by the County Public Service Board?
Okay, I stood out because I am a long-serving civil servant, a career woman who served this country for 22 years, and also my education background. I was a nurse, enrolled community health nurse who was working with the community, then a registered nurse who was working in a maternity who was basically attached to women and children, and also a quality assurance officer in the National Fund. The number of years I served and the qualifications that I have.
Thank you. Now we'll proceed to the members, those who will have a question, kindly. Honorable Fardosa.
Madam Bishara, I welcome you to this committee as a member. And my question goes, as the CCO in charge of gender and women empowerment, if approved, how will you spread awareness on gender equality as an individual if given the chance to serve this docket?
Okay, creating awareness. Most of our mothers, women, are not aware of this department. They don't know there is a department called Women Empowerment, whereby they can take advantage and being empowered. I will create awareness by creating awareness by talking to the people over the local radios, the languages they understand, that there is existence of an office specifically for women and the disadvantaged. Yes. I will also have gatekeepers in every community that will be responsible of explaining the existence of the office so that the mothers and the disadvantaged people can take advantage over it. Yes, there is also, I will also allocate resources, God willing, once I am appointed. That one will make the office and the department feasible so that all mothers will be aware of it. Also, I will take part in the education of girl child education. Yes. Once you empower a girl, of course, she will have an impact to the society. The other one is our ladies, women are left behind in every field, that is political, social. Once the office is created and there is a lot of awareness, a lot of resource allocation, a lot of funding, a lot of women groups, they will come out clear and they will know they are part in the society. They will know where they are in that society. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Bishara.
Thank you.
I'm contented. All the best.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other member? Honorable Dahawa, proceed.
Bishara, kindly provide a specific individual case study in your career where you enabled the empowerment of women in your previous area of work.
Okay, in my previous experience of work, I was working as a community health nurse where I was attached to mothers, the disadvantaged mothers, children with malnutrition. I used to give health talks. I used to do community visits. Women living with HIV/AIDS, we used to talk to them. Yes, I used to interact with the community, and I was in touch with the women and people living with disability, people living with HIV/AIDS. Yes, and currently, as I am working with NHIF, there is a program that we do that is called Linda Mama Initiative, whereby we usually deal with pregnant mothers who cannot afford paying for themselves the NHIF cover. So there is that cover, the Linda Papa Mama program, whereby we handle mothers start from the pregnancy up to 1 year after delivery. And I hope that initiative can be started in our county too. There is also the Health Initiative Subsidy Program, the HISP, whereby we deal with the vulnerables and orphaned children. A committee in the Linda Mama and the HISP program. Yeah, in my current job.
Proceed.
Yes.
Welcome to the meeting. My question is, what are your plans in your department in response to the prevailing drought in county?
My plans in that department is create awareness for the first thing, because the department is little known. Empower women empower women, and make them aware of where they stand in the community. Girl child education is another priority place, whereby the girl child should go to where they desire to reach. Also, the single-headed households, like the orphans and single mothers who have no, or maybe they are orphaned, the father died, the widowed mothers will also be part and parcel of this department. They will be the beneficiaries, God willing, if I'm appointed. Also, there is gender mainstreaming. Women have to be incorporated. They need to know their place and access the opportunities and the fair distribution of resources like their counterparts. They need also to access the opportunities that are there.
Thank you. Thank you. And Honorable Mariam, our Vice Chair, proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Karibu, Madam Bishara. My question is, what do you think is the most significant barrier for female empowerment?
Okay, the barriers that we have is lack of education. Most of our mothers are non-educated. They have gone to school, others have not gone to school, others have left it halfway. So I can say education is a barrier. The other one is resources. Our mothers are not directly involved, or they are not given any shares in, or they are not decision makers in resource distributions in the county. The other one is culture, our culture. Our culture is we are a patriarchal society whereby we believe that men are always right. As women, we say everything men, then ladies are last. So I can say it is resource culture. And another one is lack of awareness, because we don't know our surroundings. Our mothers, they don't know our surroundings. So I can say it is lack of awareness. And there is also that gender stereotype. Women cannot do this. A mother cannot do this. This work for female and male. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Bishara.
Thank you.
I will request, if you have your originals, can you kindly submit them? Thank you, Madam Bishara, and for your time. The committee will now retreat and submit a report to the County Assembly for your approval or otherwise. What is your final comment if you have?
Final comment, I'm grateful to be called and vetted by this house. And, I'm thankful.
Thank you. You can now take your leave, Madam.
Asante. Thank you, David.
Good morning, Mr. Osman Ahmed, our County Chief Officer, Culture, Social Welfare and Family Affairs. Will subject you to take oath.
It's not audible, bro. It's not audible. I, Osman Ahmed Abdi, swear by the Almighty God that the information I shall give before this committee of the County Assembly shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Thank you, and we'll proceed with prayers led by our Honorable Clerk.
Almighty God, whom in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as you are servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen.
Yeah, thank you. And my name is Amina Ibrahim Mohammed. I'm the chair of this committee, and I would like my members to also introduce themselves. We'll start with the far end left. My able vice chair, Honorable.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Mariam Abdi Mahamud, the Vice Chair of this committee. Welcome.
Thank you.
My name is Firdosa Abdullahi, a member to this committee.
My name is Adaba Yusuf Farah, a member of this committee.
My name is Rashid Ulo Adan, a member to this committee.
Ismail Mohammed, clerk to the committee.
Thank you. And can you kindly circulate your originals to us? Thank you, Honorable Osman. This is a committee of the County Assembly, constitutionally vested with authority to conduct confirmation hearings to establish the suitability of your nomination by His Excellency, the Governor of Wajir as the Chief Officer for Culture, Social Welfare and Family Affairs. We will conduct an engagement with you for 30 minutes, within which we will ask you questions and you answer appropriately. Kindly don't engage the members directly and answer the questions through the chair. The committee clerk will confirm with the original documents against the copies you have submitted previously. Welcome again and feel protected at all
Thank you.
times. As the chair, I would like to start asking you the first questions. Kindly introduce yourself comprehensively to the committee and tell us more about your personal background, professional qualifications, work experience, and what motivated you to apply for this position.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Osman Ahmed. For my background, I was born and bred in Hala sub-county. I went to my primary school in Halas Primary School until class 6. Thereafter, I moved to Kodade and did my KCPE there in the year 2009. After that, I moved to Sambule Secondary School in the year 2010 and completed my KCSE in the year 2013 with a mean grade of C+. Thereafter, I moved to college to do an account. I started with ATC and did also my CPA in the year 2015 and the year 2016. Thereafter, I joined the Kenya College of Accountants University, KCA University, to pursue Bachelor of Commerce in Finance. Thereafter, I graduated in 2019, November. Thereafter, I went on to join Kenyatta University to do my Master of Science in Finance, which I'm still a student. And for my work experience, I started working in the year 2016. That is my last semester in accounting, as an accountant in a petroleum company. I have worked there for like around 9 months as an accountant in a petroleum company, which I later changed to the banking industry. I joined First Community Bank in the year 2017, April 2017, as a customer service officer. I've served in that position for 1 year and 1 month. Thereafter, I joined the business department as a business development officer for a 6-month period. Thereafter, elevated to a business development officer in charge of the bank financing book. I served there for another 6 months, which later was promoted to a relationship manager in charge of the business for one of the biggest branches of that bank. After serving for 8 months, I was moved to a completely different department as a finance analyst or credit analyst at the head office for a period of 7 months, which I have served. Thereafter, moved to as a branch manager in one of the Nairobi branches called Lunga Lunga, and I have served there for 1 year and 3 months, which I'm still serving to date. That is from my work experience. What has motivated me to apply for this job is, having been in the private sector for this period of time, I wanted to seek a new challenge in the public service, as well as also the opportunity to serve my people was great. And I wanted to serve the people.
Thank you. And what do you think makes you suitable for this particular job that you are being vetted for?
If you can be a bit audible, please.
What makes you think that you are suitable for this particular job that you are being vetted for?
Okay. First, I believe I'm suitable because I've got the technical skills. First, I believe I got the technical skills, and having the experience the banking industry, where I've interacted with almost every sector in this country, from the government to private sector to NGOs and other non-state actors. I believe I have accumulated the necessary experience to be successful in any challenging engagement. And I believe I'm well suited for this position. Yeah.
Thank you. And I want you to clarify your credentials. Read Osman Ahmed Abdi. while your master's slip read Abdi or Ahmed? Why is there a difference in that?
That is an unofficial transcript. It's not a final certificate, and they're using the surname. The surname. That is the only thing that is worse than what happened, but it's not a final certificate. The final certificate will have my names in the right order.
Thank you. Now, like my members, anybody who has a question? Honorable Mariam, my vice chair, proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Usman, welcome. It's my pleasure knowing you. My question is, kindly tell this committee how you will determine beneficiaries of the marriage fund and what criteria will the department use to identify such beneficiaries so that funds are disbursed equitably and used for intended purposes across Wajir County without favorism and discrimination. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for this one. As far as I'm concerned, the marriage fund was approved by this House, but with a condition that this fund shall only be spent after the necessary legislation has been passed. As of now, I will once I get out of this, I will do the blueprint on how the criteria and all the necessary and what you call criteria people should meet to benefit from this fund. But of now, I can assure you there's no fund that we will be able to spend without the approval of the House. Once we are done with the I'm sure the legislation will have the public participation. It will have the contribution from the stakeholders, that is from the executive, which I will be maybe giving my opinions through the necessary channels. And once we have the final document, it will have the right criteria, and I can assure you the funds will be spent prudently as per the legislations passed by this House.
Thank you.
And Honorable Fardosa, proceed.
Mr. Osman, I welcome you once again to this committee as a member.
Thank you.
And my question is that family affairs is a new section in your department, and that is meant to help our youth to cater for their marriage expenses. How will you disperse funds to the beneficiaries without a legal framework and proper legislation from the county assembly, so that misrepresentation of the public funds should not arise?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I believe that is still a complementary question that can support the previous one. As I said, for now, we don't have the legislation to guide us on how these funds will be spent. I cannot preempt that it's only for marriage expense. We have the marriage fund as is pronounced by the governor, but we still don't have the framework on how it will be spent. Whether it's only to support new weddings, whether it's also to support the fragile marriage institutions of marriage, or it's only for wedding expense. For that one, once the House has approved, we will utilize as guided by this House. But for now, unless there's a follow-up question on that.
Yeah, the question is, this thing is new to their department, and is that something that all the people are now waiting eagerly?
Yeah.
So how will you capture it?
As I said, once we get out of this, we will have a blueprint on how to support this family. I know I shall be the pioneer chief officer for this department, and it's a completely new concept. We still don't have the public participation. As I said, why I'm saying it's a complementary question is because you do not have the public participation. We do not have the contribution from all stakeholders. I may not be alone determine the exact usage. But once we collect the views from the public, we get the contribution from all the stakeholders, we will make a blueprint that will guide the department to ensure that no funds is lost, or even there will be no variance in that fund.
Thank you, Mr. Osman. All the best.
Thank you.
Honorable Rashid.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Usman, the question is, what is your plan in your department in response to the current prevailing drought in the county?
Okay. And for this one, I can approach it from two perspectives. What we have already from the approved budget, in this case, is as per the disability fund, maybe to fast track the livelihood support for the people living with disability, and that's one thing, so that at least we can mitigate the effects of this drought. The other one is to partner. We have other complementary departments within the county government. We have the Department of Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management. We will partner with them so that at least the vulnerable groups, people living with disability, are prioritized in these drought mitigation programs. So for me, I believe once I'm in office, I will be able to make sure we get all the support from the complementary departments. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Dahaba.
What are your greatest strengths and what do you consider to be your weaknesses?
Okay. What I can say, my strength is I've always built a reputation on delivering on results, delivering on expectation, delivering on targets. That is where the industry I have been, where you are judged only on achieving targets. So I can say my strength is achieving or the result orientation. On the part of my weakness, I can say it is skeptical. Being skeptical unless convinced. Maybe there is something to be done, there's a proposal from another department. We have to take that skeptical approach until you are convinced that this is the rightful thing. So I can say that side of skepticism. Maybe it could be a weakness at times, but it's something I'm aware of and I'm building to mitigate that.
Thank you and all the best.
Thank you, Honorable Dahaba. And as part of the Wealth Declaration Act, what is your net worth?
Excuse, please?
Part of Wealth Declaration Act, and for all public servants, what is your net worth?
As a lump sum figure?
Your entire assets, your liquidity, all.
As a lump sum figure, my estimated net worth is about 80 million. As a lump sum figure, my estimated net worth is about 80 million Kenyan shillings. 8 million.
8 million. Is that liquid or is it in assets?
No, that includes parcels of land in Nairobi, here in Wajir, and in a motor vehicle. So it's a combination of assets. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and Mr. Osman, we wish you all the best. As the committee, we will now retreat and sit and submit a report to the House for your approval or otherwise. What is your final comment?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no comment. It's an honor to be here before you, and I also wish you the best as you do your report.
Take your leave.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I'll confirm it. Thank you.
And good morning, Mr. Abdiweli, our Chief County Officer for Sports, Youths, and Talents. We will subject you to an oath. Thank you.
Swear by the Almighty God. I, Adam Wali Hansha Abdullahi, swear by Almighty God that the information I shall give before this committee of the County Assembly shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Our Honorable Clerk, lead us in prayers.
I have appointed the offices of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people. We beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen.
Mr. Adam Willie, I'm Amina Ibrahim Mohammed. I'm the chair of the committee. I would like also my members to introduce themselves. I will start from the far end left. Honorable, my vice chair.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mariam Abdi Mahamoud, the vice chair of this committee. Welcome.
My name is Fardosa Abdullahi, a member of this committee.
My name is Adaba Yusuf Farah, a member of this committee.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rashid Bilwadan, a member to this committee.
I'm Ismail, the committee clerk.
This is a committee of the County Assembly constitutionally vested with authority to conduct confirmation hearings to establish the suitability of your nomination by His Excellency the Governor of Wajir as the Chief Officer for Sports, Youth, and Talent. We will conduct an engagement with you for 30 minutes, within which we will ask you questions and you answer appropriately. Kindly don't engage the members directly and answer the question through the chair. The committee clerk will confirm your original documents against the copies you have submitted previously. Welcome again and feel protected at all times. Do you have your originals with you?
Yes, I have.
Kindly submit, forward it.
These are originals, yes? You can take it all, yes.
Mr. Adam Welly, kindly introduce yourself to the committee and tell us more about your background, academic qualifications, and your work experience, and what motivated you to apply for this position. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum once again. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. My name is Adam Hansha Abdullahi, a public health by profession. I born and grew up in Wajir County. I started my primary level in Sarif Primary School. I started my secondary level in County High School in Garissa County, where I attained a mean grade of B+. I hold a Bachelor of Science Environmental Health, graduated from Kenyatta University. Currently pursuing Masters of Public Health, Epidemiology and Disease Control from Kenyatta University. I also did and completed short courses like Research Method Certificate course offered by Cambridge Bioethics Training Initiatives, which was virtual. I also attended and completed a short course in Communication for Development, C4D, offered by UNICEF. I also did a short course in Public Health Emergency and Operation and COVID-19 Management, online course. I also did a short course in Leadership and Management in Health, offered by University of Washington, online. I also did a certificate course in Computer Studies in Zeta College. Regarding my work experience, I worked both private and public sector. I started working with ACF from 2012 as a wash assistant based in Somalia, Elbade, for a period of 1.5 years. Later on, worked as a water sanitation and hygiene project manager for a period of 4 years between 2014 to 2017, where I spearheaded all wash activities and all wash programs by formulating wash policies, budgeting wash activities, and developing and coaching staffs and all that. In 2018, I joined Garissa County as a public health officer from 2019 to around January from 2018 June to January 2019 as a public health officer. Later on, I was promoted to sub-county health promotion in charge of the entire sub-county, where I spearheaded all activities concerning on preventive and promotive of health, where I was doing budgeting of ACSM activities. Also, I was conducting and formulating policies on public health procedures and review the strategies of public health and preventive measures. And really what motivates me to apply this position is through my qualifications and experience I gained over past years in the county government and in other private sectors is what really motivates me to apply for this position. Thank you.
What do you think makes you suitable for this particular job you are being nominated for, and highlight some of the key achievements you have attained before that relates to the portfolio you are being vetted for?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let me take this opportunity to tell the panel what makes me suitable for this position. I believe myself to be one of the best candidates who can fit in this position, since I have the skills and the qualifications that meet with the qualifications that meet with the job description. Secondly, I'm a hardworking and also a quick learner profession who really have heart in progressing his career and his life. Thirdly, I'm also a team player who is capable of working together as a team and deliver all roles according to me as a team and with the stipulated time required. On the key achievements, one, I trained youth. Capacity building and training of youth is one of my key achievements when working in different sectors, especially training of youth in terms of educating them on drug abuse, educating them on sexual transmitted infections like HIV/AIDS, educating them on gender-based violence, the effect of FGM, and also mental health illnesses, which really affect our youth today. The other achievement is to promote physical health activities within youth, and especially those who are school-going children, on where interact with them with physical activities, physical exercises such as playing volleyballs, footballs, athletes, and jumping, which really impacts more on their health, on both physical and mental health. Thank you.
And any other member? Honorable Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Welcome, Abdiweli. And my question is, this committee is well informed that you are a public health officer working in the county government of Garissa. And here you are being vetted as the chief officer in the Department of Youth, Sports and Talents. Kindly elaborate to the committee how your work experience and educational qualification is relevant to this position you are being vetted for. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let me take this opportunity to answer the question briefly. Regarding my work experience, I provide technical support on technical advice on preventive and promotive health services within our community. And this really mainly targets youth in our county. One of the programs under preventive and promotive health include school health education program. This school health education program really assists us in I used to conduct health education to school-going children, both in the primary level and in the secondary level, where I used to educate children in terms of drug abuse, in terms of gender-based violence, in terms of mental health illnesses, doing physical activities, and all that, which really assist the youth. That was one of my responsibility as a public health officer in Garissa County. The other responsibility, which really correlate with the position I was vetted for, is under school health education program. I used to conduct guiding and counseling of the affected youth in our community. Those youth who are affected in terms of drug abuse, in terms of early pregnancies or health problems, so that they are not being stigmatized by other community members, and later on make them to feel to develop illnesses, mental illnesses, or even a dropout in the school. Under school health education program, together with the teachers and the students, I managed to form a school health club, which really assists all students in terms of doing physical activities. The school health clubs compose of both hygiene, physical hygiene, environmental hygiene, and physical exercises like going into indoor games between schools, playing footballs and volleyballs, and all other athletic activities. Secondly, and my role and responsibility that really come hand in hand with the place I was nominated for is I used to conduct ACSM activities, that is advocacy, communication, and social mobilization activities across the sub-county and the county level, where we used to engage stakeholders meeting and community engagement. Under stakeholders meetings, we used to give youth a chance to participate in the stakeholders meeting, raise their concerns, and also in the community participation or community engagement, we used to involve youth. I used to involve youth and call them in that stakeholder meeting. They used to raise their challenges and all that. And at the end of the activity, at the end of the engagement program, I used to empower them in terms of supporting us activities such as polio campaigns, measles campaigns, and empower them as volunteers and also recorders in our programs. And later on, we used to motivate them at the end of the exercise. The other responsibility is that under our health preventive and promotive services in our sector, we have a strategy called community health strategy. The community health strategy is a strategy that really assists the community at the grassroots level. This community health strategy composes of almost community units. It has a community unit, and each community unit composed of almost 20 members. Out of that 20 members that each community unit compose, 80% I used to give priority to youth. So that 80% youth and the rest disabilities and women, we used to empower them. Then out of that 80% youth, I used to give them capacity building and training in terms of all aspects of health that really affect the community, our community at large, and also that affect youth. Under community health strategy, we also use these CHVs. They are called community health volunteers. We used to empower them in all our activities. Like if we want to do a training on health or a polio campaign and everything, we used to empower them, motivate them, and be part of our team. And I used to interact the youth in my daily life activities. Lastly, on health, on promotive and preventive and promotive activities I used to do is that I used to do community action days where I used to engage communities, especially youth are my champions who really used to assist me in doing community action days, which involves in personal hygiene, which involves in cleaning the town and government institutions. One of the fine days, I advised the youth in the Garissa, one of the youth group in Garissa County, to do mobilization of fund so that they can have these community action days through their youth groups, so that they can mobilize for resources from the local CPOs, from the local NGOs, and even what assembly MCS request funds. And as an institution, I used to assist them a recommendation letter that they have worked with us in community action days, really assisted us, and in fact, some of youth progress well in their youth group activities. Thank you.
Paul Rashid.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Mr. Adamweli, my question is, have you ever done any community or charity service? If yes, what are your achievements?
Community or charity services? Yes, I have done both community and charity services. And you also asked me my achievement?
Yes, what are your achievements?
My achievements, to start with, when I was working in Garissa County, one of the fine days I was chairing a committee on on infection prevention control. And one of the days, I suggested as an AOB, I suggested to do a blood donation in our community so that they can get assistance, because in the sub-county hospital, they were not doing any blood transfusion. And in many cases from the community, we used to hear that there is a severe anemia, a mother person, because of lack of blood in the hospital. So as an AOB, I suggested that, and I have initiated the program, started myself to donate blood, and also the rest of the members did so, and the community members did so. At the end of the day, our sub-county lab hospital get enough blood so that to assist the communities who are lacking, who have severe anemia conditions. The other achievements that I can highlight is during my time in Kenyatta University, I was a member of NEP-KUSA Association, that is Northeastern Province Kenyatta University Association. And during that time, we used to contribute as a members a small amount. And one of the finest days we had on around 2016, we conducted a career day talk in Garissa University, where more than 800 students from secondary levels and secondary levels across the NEB region attended that time, and we guided them and counseled them on career development, on the career progressions that are available and that can best suit them. Under that, we also have a motivational talk with them on how to success their education, on how to pass and perform best in their forthcoming exams in high school. On my achievement on charity services, I also spearheaded a contribution forums in our local WhatsApp forums that really a fund drive that really assist our community members, those who are sick. A fund drive, a charity, although it's not good to tell, but for the matter of clarification, a fund drive that really assists our youth, our community who are sick in the hospital. And also, we also do a fund drive in distribution of desk to one of my rural school in Sarif Primary School. Lastly, on 2017, I also participated a charity in the Walk of Hope that started from Garissa to Mandera, where youth from this NEP region came together and initiated a program called Walk of Hope. That by then I was not participated in the work, but through charity, I was one of the people who supported the Walk of Hope from Garissa to Mandera. And the main aspect of this Walk of Hope was to unite the Somali communities, to make aware the community on security challenges, to also make our communities on self-reliance. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Fardosa.
Mr. Aden, I welcome you once again to this committee as a member. And my question goes down. What skills do you possess that will make you successful in executing the role of chief officer?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let me take this opportunity to answer. Having many years many years of work experience in county government, I am well conversant in all knowledge and administration of the county government and its function. Also, I possess the skills in leadership and management where I can where I can do financial management, budgeting process, revenue allocations, and also problem solving. The other skills I possess is that resource and community mobilization, resource mobilization skills, where we can sustain our programs and projects for a long period of time. I also possess the skills of working as a team and the progress as a team. I possess the skills in good communication skills and interpersonal skills that really help me in all my duties. Thank you.
Thank you. And in your submitted documents, and there's a missing clearing certificate which is not attached.
Yes.
And clearing certificate, you have not, and anti-corruption.
Which one?
Yeah, anti-corruption.
Anti-corruption is there. EACC.
The CSC is here. Okay. And the national ID. No, it's okay. It's here. Yes. Yeah, then you can have a seat. And the anti-corruption, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, you can have your seat. Sorry for that. Yeah, as the Wealth Declaration Act, we would like to know your net worth, assets plus liquidity.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My net worth is around 3 million. And if I disintegrate into asset and liability assets, I have a plot in Garissa. I also have a plot in rural area Sarif. I also own kettles and camels and cash in bank.
What did you say? 10,000 camels?
Yes? No, I said kettles and camels.
Kettles and camels.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your time and well answered questions. And the committee will retreat and we'll have a report table at the County Assembly for your approval or otherwise. And what do you have to say for your final comment?
Okay, let me take this opportunity to thank Almighty Allah who really gave us this wonderful day. And also let me take an opportunity to thank the panel ahead of me through chair. That really, indeed, it was a very healthy and a friendly engagement. And I wish if you approve and confirm my nomination to work with you in near future. Also, let me take this opportunity to say that really our youth in our county are really disconnected from the government. Just because they are not motivated, just because they are not given any opportunity. And if the panel ahead of me confirms my nomination, I will be #1 champion to advocate for youth so that they get their resources, so that they get their share in the county government. And my policy will be one: nothing for young people without them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take your leave.
Yes. Therapy. Let me pack it.
Yes. Yeah?
Write your name here.
Mm-hmm.
That will give the right information.
Yeah, okay. But I can also give affirmation.
Affirmation.
Yeah, okay.
Mistake,
Okay.
you affirm now.
Yeah. Right now? I, Ibrahim Khamis Aden, swear by the Almighty God that the information I shall give before this committee of the County Assembly shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Mr. Ibrahim, I wish to welcome and thank you for honoring our notification to appear before the Public Service, Labor and Decentralized Units Committee today, 14th November 2022. Before I officially raise the curtain for this interview session, I would like to open the meeting with a word of prayer as per the standing order. Almighty God, who is your Almighty God, who is your wisdom and goodness, have appointed the offices of leaders and the county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people. We beseech you to behold, wish with you, with your abundant favor, as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and fulfill in manner so as to promote your honor and glory, and to address the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen. We will now introduce ourselves, starting with the chair. My names are Dahaba Yusuf Farah, Chair of Labor, Public Service, Labor and Decentralized Units Committee.
And my name is Abdirizak Somo, Vice Chair, Public Service and Labor Committee.
I'm Abdirizak Dakad Ibrahim, a member of this committee.
I'm Honorable Nim'a Ahmed Sanei, member of this committee.
I am Mr. Ali Omar Mohammed, MCA Butye, a member of the committee.
I'm Yusuf Ali, committee clerk attached to this committee. With me is Mr. Abdi Karim, who is also our research assistant.
Mr. Ibrahim, the committee is guided by the Constitution of Kenya 2010, the County Government Act 2012, the Public Appointments Act 2017, and the County Assembly Service Act number 24 of 2017 in dispensing this interview process. We will conduct an engagement with you for 30 minutes, within which we will ask you questions and you answer appropriately. Kindly don't engage the members, directly answer the questions through the chair. Mr. Ibrahim, you have to be cognizant of the fact that you are under obligation to provide the committee truthful and verifiable information, academic and work experience, and anything to the contrary will lead to no further consideration. Mr. Ibrahim, the committee will be fair and transparent throughout this process. Further, the committee, after the interview process, will submit its report to the County Assembly for adoption or otherwise of the report. The committee clerk will confirm your original documents against the copies you have submitted previously. Welcome again and feel protected at all times. Kindly introduce yourself to the committee and tell us more about your personal background, academic qualifications, and work experience. Mr. Ibrahim.
and trade, and many other courses as I have within those papers. I have been in service for the 9 years in the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock, Office of the President, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for a total of 39 years.
Why do you feel that you are the most suitable candidate to the position being vetted for?
Well, it's my time to give back. I've been out, I worked in Wajir, other than my primary and secondary, from 1982 to 86. I was a very junior officer then. I have a lot of experience, and I would like to give back to the community. I am not thinking about, I'm thinking about food security in Wajir. Wajir is a food scarce county. It's a hungry county, actually. You import eggs, you import milk. Meat is expensive, more expensive than Nairobi. We have to have a dynamic shift from our way of life and economy of Wajir. That is where I would like to give my input to the county authorities so that we can change things. One thing, and please down, Madam Chair, write down this. In the next 2-3 years, I will talk to my colleagues in county and to shift away from livestock. Actually, not to shift, but say we gradually disengage ourselves from our sole reliance on livestock. We don't even have the livestock today. Wajir, people of Wajir and livestock people have immigrated to Siolo, to Garissa, Tana River. Wajir will be a very hungry county. Other than water, which is priority number 1 for Wajir, the next one is food security. We would like to start growing. Some people might laugh, and many have laughed. But we would like to start Wajir becoming a food surplus county. Let us get into growing of plantations of hagar and malmal. That is acacia comifera and acacia malmal. We should go and grow in our land, especially Butte, Wajir West, Wajir southern part of it along the river. We should start growing wheat, sorghum. I don't know whether I'm talking sense. In the larger Wajir East, we should start growing hagar and malmal and create plantations. I'm talking about plantations. 10 acres is enough to sustain our family. We can do it if we put our resources there. That is why I would like to get into the county.
Madam Chair.
And do those
Madam
things.
Chair.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Madam Chair, I think we are on labor issues, and the chief of SAR is actually going far to agriculture and those issues. So, Mr. Ibrahim, let us dwell on labor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, you want me to answer that? Yeah, labor. Well, I have been in management for the last, top management in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for the last 15 years. And I would like to increase, I would like to upgrade the county staff, skills, training of the county staff, so that they can address those issues that have been mentioned. that we have a lean, effective service to the people of Wajir.
Mr. Ibrahim, tell us your net worth. Your worth, net.
My weight? Okay, I think I'm worth about 50 million. Yeah. 50.
50 million.
Yeah.
That's good.
Huh?
Tell us more about that, your assets.
I have some plots in Nairobi. I have a plot in Garissa. I have a farm in Garissa. And I have a building in Garissa. And some plots in Nairobi and Mombasa. That cumulatively rounds up to about 50 million.
Good afternoon, sir, and congratulations for your appointment as Chief Officer for Labor. Actually, I'm very happy. The great mission you have for this county about the change of the livelihood of livestock, from livestock to agriculture. That is a very great intention. I think we need your advice. Maybe there is the respective Chief Officer of Agriculture. Please advise him accordingly. For that one, the other thing I want to ask you, how do you intend to address the issue of public service of irregular employment in the county? People given higher job groups, no advertisement, no competition, no career progression, and that will create some imbalance in the public service. What? You are not getting my content? Well, how do you intend to address the issue in public service of irregular employment in the county? Irregular employment in the county. How will you address the irregular employment in the county? Irregular.
Irregular?
Yes. People given higher, higher job groups, no advertisement, no competition, no career progression. Are you getting me? No career progression. Yes. And that will create some imbalancing in the public service. That will create imbalancing in the public service. What will be your role and contribution in making sure some of these things are done professionally? I have a number of questions. Maybe can I continue, Madam Chair? Or let him answer and then I continue. Mr. Nominee, my second question. Hundreds and thousands of graduates still don't have job in Wajir County. They are still at home over years. The wage bill is bloated, and the genuine graduates are hoping against hope in terms of job opportunities. As accounting officer for labor, if you are approved by this committee today, how will you create job in your tenure? That is my second question. Is it well heard?
Yeah, I get it.
The third question. The work injury benefits. Do you aware of the work injury benefit? Work injury benefit. Act to 2007 stipulates the right to compensation accident during training of performance and emergency services. When death occurs, for example, or injury while on duty in the civil service, I remember and I was told a man by the name Dawood Haji Dawood Haji is a sergeant at arm in Wajir County Assembly. He suffered a severe injury in his right arm. 5 years ago, up to date, that it was 2018, up to date he was not paid, he was not compensated as the chief officer incoming. Are you aware of any budget allocation to compensation of these civil service servants? Thank you so much.
The first question was about irregular employment, job descriptions, and career progressions. Yeah, the fate of the county, as far as job description and progression, is as per the constitution, the laws passed by this county, the spread of the, how you create job cadres that this county creates. So we'll make sure that, say, that somebody does not get, is say, a human resource officer, for example, and he has been in that job for the last 10 years, there's no progression. We have to create a progression, a pathway to progression. And to do that, we need to have, a training program that you pass this exam, you get this grade examination or this kind of thing. We create, what do you call it? A career progression for every cadre. We don't have to live here, but if you have been in this year, you have got that grade, you have that qualification or that university education, you have passed certain examinations, then you can move to the next job group. So we have to have, I think, a career, what do you call it? There's a term for it. You create, a pathway for that progression. That is very simple. It can be done through the county assembly by law. That can be done. Career progression goes a long way in the same way that you have this, you have lived it, you have worked for this much of years, you have this qualification, you have the right to this kind of job group. Number 3, audit. Yes, if there is too much, irregular employment, there are many ways of getting out of it. One thing is to do an audit. People without the right papers, that's an illegality. We get rid of them through the law. And number 2, irregularity that somebody is not qualified for a certain job and is appointed to a certain job. That is, the audit will bring out that, and we bring in, rationalization of the staff that you fit into this job. You move there. You cannot be a public health officer and you're working with water, or or maybe forest. You cannot be a forest officer and working with the Ministry of Health. We rationalize how jobs will move so that you have people qualified in a certain area working in that area. Number 2, if there is too much of unemployment, there are pathways also. They used to have in the civil service something called golden handshake. You don't go sack people because they didn't employ themselves. You're not going to sack people. For me, I will not be for that idea that you sack people. They didn't employ themselves. It was a system that employed them. It is the same county government that employed them. They have papers. Yes, the rational thing to do is to bring things like golden handshake. Say 3 million, 2 million, 1 million, and you tell them, okay, we cannot accommodate you, but we have this much money. Can you please take this money? And we go. And it will be voluntary, not must. The other one is you can get this money from the national government to retrench people voluntarily. I'm not saying people are going to be sacked, voluntarily. That you volunteer to get what is due to you and you leave service so that we can have lean and effective service. That is my way of dealing with maybe overstaffing and that kind of issue. The idea that you can sack somebody is not, they didn't employ themselves in the first place. They were employed. And they were employed by the same county government. So they are not illegal. So what you do, if you have, say, an irregular member, that's a criminal issue. If you have been employed right way, then you have the right to be heard by the county authorities and the law. So we should be following the law, not arbitrary sacking of people. Now, number 2, job creation. I've said there is no one, I talked of some things. The economy of Wajir should be able to absorb our graduates and those who have not gone to school, which means we need to expand the economy. We need to expand the economy. Expand the cake of Wajir County. We need to say, get into agriculture, where that's where we have land, beautiful land, that can accommodate our economy to expand from Butte to Middle, wherever. So the solution is not employing people in the county. The solution is creating jobs, like the one I was talking about, growing, agroforestry, beneficial trees, not get Kararu, neem trees, growing, say, bring dairy cows to Wajir. For one cow, dairy cow you bring to Wajir, it employs 2 people or 3. Layers, broilers. And then we give it to every home. It costs, I was doing my calculation, it costs about 150 million to bring 1 billion birds to Wajir. So, and maybe 150 million to bring 1,000 dairy cows in Wajir. So those are the things that can create jobs in Wajir. That is labor. And, sisal plantation, we can try. We can try, gum arabica plantations. We can try irrigation through using boreholes. Irrigation using boreholes, not for animals or human beings. In Egypt, they are turning the desert green through boreholes. They drink a borehole, put 100 acres, mechanize it, and there are only 2 people working in that 100 acres or 200 acres. I've seen in Saudi Arabia they do the same. So what we do is we expand the economy away from livestock to agriculture and irrigation. Work injury, I'm sorry, Mr. David Haji didn't get his compensation. Well, first of all, you have to make sure that you have insured your staff. The county must insure the staff so that in case of injury, he is compensated for. You can, so the first thing is to make sure that the county pays for its NHIF, its labor dues, It is insurance. You insure everything, every worker for injuries, work-related injuries. And then you follow up. When you insure, you must make sure that you are dealing with a credible company, not brokers or sub-brokers or agents. You're dealing with a main company, the company itself. And you have signed that agreement because you have a big bargaining power, big bargaining power to make sure that the workers, the insurance company pays the compensation. But if you're dealing with the brokers in between the main company and you, there's an agent, you get nothing. You get disturbed. And it starts with the county paying insurance for the workers. Did I answer it?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Nominee. And my questions, I'll follow up on one question, one thing you mentioned about the remittance of statutory deductions. Statutory deductions on the NHIF, Lab Fund, NSSF. And in the recent years in Wajir County, there's a lot of scenarios coming up on the matter of the well-being of the county staffs. It happened, and on the payroll of the staffs, the money is deducted, but it doesn't reflect in the schemes. They don't receive on their well-being on such remittance. And as the nominee of this position, what intervention will you make? And it seems for 3-4 years, the county remittance is not in proper situation. You can imagine, and it's like a court case on such things in Wajir County. Now, as the CCO, how will you address on this matter? And it will be treated urgently. That's one. And my second question, as infused in the Constitution 2010, Article 10, subsection 2, on the national values and principles of governance, which talks about human dignity, equity, social justice, and inclusiveness. In your capacity as the CCO in charge of public service and labor, how do you intend to handle the above issues of bringing every person on board, ensuring that there is equity in recruitment in this county?
Okay.
Yes.
I think this one of the non-payment of the money that is being remitted for insurance, for NHIF, for accidents, insurance, whatever. That is the workers' money. That is the workers' money. And officers who are not remitting that money should be surcharged. Penalty. And this is what this county can do, the county assembly can do very easily. I think this is where the county assembly needs to put its foot down to say, if you don't remit workers' money, then you'll be penalized. And you need to call that kind of officer who is not remitting that money. Needs to be called to this county assembly. And now the county assembly needs to put its foot down and say, you have not done this, ABCD. This is not your money, it's not the county money, that money belongs to the workers. Why he didn't remit that money, that's a criminal issue. For me, and criminalize it such a way that this man is punished through by the laws of this county assembly. I think that is the best way, so that nobody really plays around with somebody's money. It is the life of somebody. I think I leave that to the assembly to put its foot down, because it has the powers to call anybody. Why he has not remitted that money? It is not his money. It's not county money. It is not the executive money. It is personal money that has been deducted from somebody. So that money must be remitted. I leave at that one of NHIF, insurance, and so forth there. Equity and inclusivity. Yeah, we have semblance of it in the Constitution. We have acts of parliament on that. I think, again, everybody in the assembly comes from a ward. I think that's why they come in now, to say, okay, if there are 50 wards, 50 jobs distributed to the wards, and you keep record of who is employed. But if somebody is a doctor, you cannot say if there are 10 doctors and they all come from Tarbaj, and there are no other doctors, you cannot say, why do you employ people from Tarbaj and there are 10 doctors? Again, it breaks the rule that qualification should matter. First of all, that qualification should matter. And the suitability for the job. While you are balancing, when you are employ 10 doctors from, say, Tarbaj, if you employ 5 doctors, 5 drivers from the other parts of for the other constituencies, that will be fair. But you can check the governor, the executive rather. You can check the governor or the executive, because he's the boss. You can check the executive, and that is the job of the county assembly, to make sure that this equity is done. You can create a law. You know, you can replicate the one which is at the constitution and the national, and cascade it down to the county assembly, to the county, and say, okay, what you have done, we have this law we have passed, you have to be fair. You cannot just employ 200 people from your village. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. So we need a law. Because for me, if I say anything, it doesn't matter really what my view is. But my view will be, I learned working with the policies, papers, regulations, that kind of thing. If they are there already, then we have to follow it up. And then that equity and inclusivity must be in those regulations and the laws of the county. That's how we can follow it up. Because if you say, okay, I'm the chief officer for public service and labor, I want inclusivity here. Yes, I can do it 1 or twice. But I'm human, somebody else will come. He will do what he wants. And that is what has happened to Wajir anyway. So anybody wants to employ somebody, he does what he wants. If you have no laws restraining such kind of behavior.
Honorable Nim'o, you're next.
My question is that, kindly elaborate to the committee what will be your input as the chief officer in charge public service in the county in the next 5 years, and more so, what system will you put in place to ensure seamless synergy between your office and the county assembly? I'm saying, kindly elaborate to the committee what will be your input as the chief officer in charge of public service in the county in the next 5 years, and more so, what system will you put in place to ensure seamless synergy between your office and the county assembly?
First of all, I'll be following up I'll be following what the county assembly passes. That will be my guiding rule, plus the other rules on the laws that were passed here. That is what will be, what I'll be following. And then other, policies that come up, policies, papers, and the laws that are passed by the county assembly. Those will be my guiding issues. But as a, public labor and public service, I'll be looking forward to a lean, effective, and lean, effective service that has high morale to work, and they must deliver to the laws, policies, and the resources available to them to make sure that they deliver the public service required. And that will be the laws, the policy, especially of the manifesto of the governor, what he says, what has been written, and what this assembly directs. That will be my guiding thing. And those policies that, the laws that were passed here and the national and the constitution are all geared towards good intention. So I'll be following that. But I look forward to an effective and efficient civil public service.
Honorable Ali.
Yes, Mr. Ibrahim, these are my questions. First, I want to know your roles as Chief Officer Public Service. What are your roles? That's the first question. The other question is the relevancy of your department to Wajir County. The relevancy of the public service to the people of Wajir. Relevancy of your department. It is relevancy. How is it relevant to the people of Wajir? Then the other one is the structure of your department. The structure of your department. And then the other one is a job group criteria. Job group criteria. Job group. Job group criteria. And then the basis of casuals versus permanent. Casuals versus permanent. The duration, somebody can be in casual, and then maybe can be taken to permanent. You have understood it? Yeah? Yeah, the relationship and how maybe you will improve the periods at which somebody will be a casual and then will be taken to permanent. And the law that guides that. And the law that guides the casual and the permanent. There must be a law. The other one is your plans in your department in relation to the drought. Your plans in relation to the prevailing drought. Yeah. And then in relation to your work, explain maybe conflict of interest. In relation to your work, explain conflict of interest and explain if you had any potential one. That is enough.
Okay. Let me start with the role of public service. Public service is the engine that moves government, whether local, whether national or county. Public service, when you talk about it, are all those people who do job in the name of the public. They can be public service, it can be politicians, they can be workers, drivers, health workers, across the board. Anybody doing service for the public service will involve in. The role of that public service is the coordination of departments, training of personnel, progression of personnel, training of personnel to jobs that will be delivered. So public service is personnel management, how you move resources, how you move people, resources, technology, ideas, communication, and all that, to produce goods and services, to move them to better human life and protect human life, whether it is water, food, actual security, physical security, or whatever. So public service is what is the engine of government, national or local. Relevance is that public service is supposed to procure goods and services for better humanity. That's the relevance. If they don't deliver service, then that's not public service. Structure, you said, structure is the organography of the county arrangements, county government arrangements, the governor, the county assembly, the executive. If there is quasi-judicial organization like Ministry of Land, yeah, something like that. Those are the structures. But I'm not very conversant with the workings of the county government, by the way. I will be honest. It will take me about maybe 2-3 months to know how the county works. I just know things. In the ministry. I was working with another department. We started in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We started the Department of Parliamentary and the County Affairs Directorate division. Actually, it was division. I started with some other people when this new constitution came. So I know the relationship between now the executive and the parliament. That kind of questions that come and you have to be answerable. You have to be answer questions that may come from this end. So that much I know. Job group criteria. I think we need a scheme of service. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, but we need to cascade the national scheme of service to say doctors have got their scheme of service, engineers have got scheme of service. We need to cascade it down to the county, and then modify it or better it to make sure that we have the same things that are happening national. We cascade it down to the county. That will be the job group criteria. And I said earlier, I think in another question, is that we need to have a scheme of service. That is what I was looking for, scheme of service for every cadre. Scheme of service so that you have job progression. That will be job group criteria. That will be the thing. That if you are not a doctor, you cannot be fitted into scheme of service for medical personnel or laboratory technicians. They have got their scheme of service. Clinical officers, they have their own. So that's how we're going to deal with it. We use a national one and then model it on the county, based on the county needs. Casuals versus permanent. Well, I think I read it somewhere that if you work in government for more than 6 months, it used to be, I don't know whether the laws have been changed, 6 months, 9 months, you automatically become permanent. You cannot be sacked. If you want to, what the other used to do is that somebody reaches 5 months, you hold, you sack him, you wait for another month, then re-employ him. That is an abuse of labor. So if you need this person for more than 1 year, 2 years, and he's working as a cashier, 2 years, it is illegal. I don't know the latest act of parliament or the county, but that should not be. If you are casual, it should be maybe 2 months, 3 months, and that job has been done. That's the relationship. Progressing in guidelines. That is the guideline now, that if you work certain months, and this is the law should come out from here, to say, okay, if you have worked 9 months or 1 year in a county, you become permanent. Drought. You know, you don't work on drought. Drought, I think we have to be proactive. You just don't work out when there is no rain. We have a lot of water. Yeah, there's a joke. Why should you rely on rain anyway? Why should you rely on rain when you have water underground and you have the money to drill? You don't need rain. Egypt survives without rain. Libya. How many countries? The whole of North Africa, they survive without rain, and they have millions of people. Saudi Arabia is another one. Kuwait. Yes, we may not be Kuwait. Eh? Israel. So why do you need rain? If you are going high tech, then you can even, clouds are just up here. You can put some iodine on top and it rains. You only need to